This is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. I'm reading from the Torah in Genesis. This is the Hebrew on this side and the English translated directly from the Hebrew. And we are in verse 13. What has happened so far is Joseph was sold off into slavery by his brothers. He rose in power in Egypt from a slave to second in command next to Pharaoh. His brothers, during the famine, came to Egypt to purchase grain from the Egyptians because they were the only ones in the surrounding countries that had grain. They didn't want to go because they felt guilty about selling their brother into slavery. When they met Joseph in Egypt to buy grain, they had no idea that that was their brother. And he accused them of being spies. And he held one back and told the others to go home and bring their younger brother to prove that they were telling the truth. They came back with their younger brother, Benjamin, who is Joseph's full brother. He still is concealing the fact that he's Joseph. And so he had them sit down for a meal, filled their sacks full of grain, also put their money back in, and in Benjamin's sack, put his gold cup in there. So they left, and they were accosted on the road again and accused of being thieves. And so they were brought back. So we're starting in 44, verse 13. And then they rent their clothes, and everyone loaded his ass, and they returned to the city. This was after it found out that the gold was in their sacks and the gold cup. And Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, and he was yet there, and they fell down before him on the ground. And Joseph said to them, What deed is this that ye have done? Knew ye that such a man as I indeed divine? And Judah said, What shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we justify ourselves? God hath found out the iniquity of thy servants. Behold, we are servants to thy Lord, both we, as also in whose hand the cup was found. And he said, God forbid. What should I do this? The man in whose hand the cup was found, he shall be my bondsman. And as for you, go you up in peace to your father. So they got the one brother back that had been held in jail because they were accused of spies, and brought Benjamin back as they were told. But they didn't do it right away. It had been, they didn't do it again until they ran out of the food they brought back the first time and were starving. And they were afraid to go back because Joseph had their gold put back in their sacks that time too, and they were afraid that they would be accused of being thieves. Well, it ended up being true, but not from the first trip, but from the second. And now Benjamin is staying behind, and Benjamin is Joseph's full brother. So he did all of this so he could spend time and be around Benjamin, his full brother, who was the only brother who had not betrayed him. So that's why he's worked all of this the way he has. Now this starts another section. Vayigash. So we're starting in verse 18. And Judah came near unto him and said, Pardon, my Lord. Let thy servant, I pray thee, speak a word with my Lord's ears, and let not anger burn against thy servant. For thou art even as Pharaoh. My Lord asked his servant, saying, Have ye a father or a brother? And we said unto my Lord, We have an older father, and a little child born in his old age. His brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother, and his father loveth him. And thou saidst to my servants, Bring him down to me, that I might set my eyes upon him. And we said unto the Lord, the lad cannot leave his father, for he should leave his father, he would die. And thou saidst unto thy servants, unless your youngest brother come down with you, ye shall not see my face any more. And it came to pass that we came up to thy servant my father, and we told him the words of my Lord. And our father said, go back and buy a little food. And we said, we cannot go down if our youngest brother be with us, and then will we go down. We cannot see the man's face if our youngest brother be not with us. And thy servant my father said unto us, we know that my wife bore me 2 sons, and the one went out from me, and I said, surely he hath been torn to pieces, and I have not seen him up to this time. And if you take this one from me, and mischief befall him, ye will bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. And now when I come to thy servant my father, and the lad be not with us, seeing that his life is bound up in the lad's life, it will come to pass that when he seeth that the lad is not with us, he will die. And thy servant would thus bring down the gray hairs of thy servant our father with sorrow to the grave. For thy servant became surety for the lad unto my father, saying, if I bring him not unto thee, then shall I have sinned against my father all the days. Now therefore I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of this lad as bondsman to my Lord, and let the lad go up with his brothers. For how shall I go unto my father, and the lad not be with me, lest I should witness the evil which may come on my father. So Judah, who was the one that was the largest proponent of Joseph being sold off, the biggest betrayer of them all. And we had a previous chapter that showed what happened in Judah's family because of this, has now offered himself up. He's truly trying to redeem himself to protect his father at this point. He has done a 180. He is doing the right thing now. Now let's see if Joseph at this point tells them that he's Joseph, or if he sends them away again and keeps Benjamin or keeps Judah, or what he does at this point. But why would he do all of this? He wanted Benjamin. He has Benjamin now, but he will destroy his father if he keeps Benjamin. So what will Joseph do? He's a very wise man. What would you do? Have a wonderful and blessed day, everyone.